The simmering tension between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois has reached a fever pitch as the unified heavyweight champion issued a chilling ultimatum to his former challenger, setting the stage for a rematch that promises to eclipse their initial encounter in both brutality and significance. The cerebral Ukrainian maestro, who holds the WBA, IBF, and WBO heavyweight titles, delivered his warning with the quiet intensity that has become his trademark, his words carrying the weight of a man who has dominated to weight divisions. Our first encounter was merely an opening chapter stated during a recent training camp media day, his piercing gaze fixed on the cameras as sweat dripped from his brow after a grueling sparring session. I allowed Daniel to taste championship rounds to experience the slow unraveling that comes against true greatness. But should fortune bring us together again, and I say should, because he must search his soul if he truly desires this pain, I will not be so generous with my time or my punches. The education will be accelerated, the curriculum more painful, and the final examination utterly conclusive. These ominous declarations gain additional gravity when considering Usyk's methodical dissection of Dubois over 9 rounds last August, particularly his ability to overcome the controversial 5th-round body shot that remains boxing's most hotly debated moment of 2023. Dubois, the heavy-handed Londoner who surprised many by pushing music harder than anticipated, has countered with equally incendiary rhetoric that reveals both his growing confidence and the tangible improvements he's made under new trainer Don Charles. Since their first meeting, Dubois has showcased enhanced footwork, more varied punch selection, and improved ring generalship in dominant knockout victories over Gerald Miller and Kevin Lena, with his massive 6 feet 5 inches in frame now carrying an additional layer of muscle specifically designed to withstand championship rounds. I see the hesitation in his voice when he speaks of me now, Dubois growled during a punishing pad session at his Essex training base, his fists creating thunderous impacts against the mitts. That body shot found its mark perfectly, not low, not questionable, but flush on the border that separates champions from challengers. When we meet again, I won't leave our fate in the hands of referees or judges. I'll keep digging those shots to his core until his legs betray him, until everyone watching understands what I knew in that moment, that even kings bleed and their crowns can be taken. This newfound assurance stems not just from physical development, but from the psychological advantage of having hurt boxing's most elusive heavyweight, regardless of how the officials scored. That pivotal sequence, the controversial 5th-round moment from their August 2023 clash in Wrocław, continues to loom over the heavyweight division like an unresolved chord in a symphony, its dissonance demanding resolution. High-definition, slow-motion replays have been analyzed frame by boxing's most respected minds, with some like Hall of Fame analyst Larry Merchant concluding Dubois' right hand landed indisputably on the belt line, the very definition of a legal blow, while others, including former champion George Foreman, maintained the referee's low blow call was correct based on the angle of impact. What remains undeniable is that instant represented Dubois's clearest pathway to victory, and his team's persistent claims of being denied a legitimate knockout have gained sufficient traction to make a rematch both commercially viable and competitively necessary. Usyk's camp counters by highlighting their fighter dominance in every other round and his proven ability to overcome adversity, pointing to his championship pedigree against Anthony Joshua and other elite heavyweights as evidence that he would have found a way to win regardless of the controversial call. From a technical perspective, the rematch presents a fascinating chess match of adjustments and counter-adjustments that could redefine both fighters' approaches. Usyk, the perpetual student of the sweet science, has undoubtedly spent countless hours in his Kyiv training base, studying footage of Dubois' recent performances, searching for the subtleties and patterns that could unlock new avenues of attack. The champion's preternatural ability to implement Mid-fight adaptations exemplified when he shifted from pure movement to calculated aggression after tasting Dubois' power in their first meeting, provides him with a critical advantage in any second encounter. However, Dubois' work with Don Charles has yielded visible improvements in defensive responsibility, combination punching, and most notably, his ability to cut off the Ringo skills that could neutralize some of us' greatest strengths. The young challenger has also demonstrated enhanced stamina management in recent bouts, suggesting he may be able to sustain a higher offensive output deeper into championship rounds against us. Relentless pace. Perhaps most significantly, Dubois now carries the invaluable experience of having shared 24 minutes in the ring with one of boxing's most enigmatic stylists, knowledge that could prove instrumental in deciphering music's rhythmic feints and unpredictable angular attacks. The current landscape of the heavyweight division adds layers of political and financial complexity to the potential rematch, with Tyson Fury seemingly committed to his crossover boxing endeavors and Anthony Joshua pursuing alternative opponents. U.S. Dubois has emerged as one of the most logical and compelling matchups available. In 2024, promoter Frank Warren has been actively exploring the possibility of staging the event at London's Wembley Stadium, where a capacity crowd of 90,000 roaring Dubois supporters could create an atmosphere reminiscent of historic British heavyweight clashes. Simultaneously, Middle Eastern investors have expressed strong interest in hosting with Saudi Arabia's boxing power. Brokers reportedly prepared to table a 9-figure site fee to bring the fight to Riyadh. The financial calculus is substantial, with U.S. commanding 8-figure purses for title defenses and Dubois' market value having risen sharply following his destructive win over Miller. From a legacy standpoint, the bout offers us an opportunity to definitively silence the critics who point to the